Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is the case of Brewton versus Martin.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Brewton, you claim to be 100% positive that Mr. Martin is not your son's biological father because your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Richardson, is.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say today's DNA test will allow you to get rid of Mr. Martin and to finally reconcile your relationship with Mr. Richardson. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Martin, you say Ms. Brewton led you to believe that you had fathered her 7-month-old son, Logan. You claim Ms. Brewton kept the baby from you in hopes that she could build a family with Mr. Richardson and not you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Today, you believe the DNA results will prove you are the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Brewton, why are you so sure Mr. Martin is not your child's father?
First of all, Logan looks just like Anthony. They have the same ears, eyes, nose, and he don't favor Mr. Martin at all.
So
that's why I'm sure.
Just by looks alone?
Yeah, by looks alone.
But Mr. Martin, you disagree?
Yes, because I know I had unprotected sex around the time that she conceived. She might say I didn't have it as many times she said I did, but I know it's a fact. And
No.
it's 99.7%
No, Your Honor.
that it is mine.
No, Your Honor. We only had unprotected sex twice.
No.
That's it.
Your Honor.
Twice.
Your Honor.
In my
She said
apartment twice.
Your Honor, it was 3 at her apartment, 2 at her family member house, 1 at my house, and 1 in the car.
You know it only takes one time anyway.
Yes, it only takes
All
one
right.
time.
So you say this is your child, Mr. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you know that for certain?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the court papers, you say she led you to believe it at first.
Yes,
How did she lead you to believe that?
Because she called me and said she was pregnant, so I was happy and stuff. And then after 2 weeks after she told me, she just disappeared. Ain't answer my phone calls, ain't do nothing. Then,
So you're saying she called you to tell you I'm pregnant and you're the father at first?
Yes, at first.
Did you call him and say I'm pregnant and you're the father?
First of all, I called both of them because I wasn't for sure who was the father because I slept with both of them around the same time.
Okay, so you do admit his testimony is true.
Yes.
Take me back. I want to understand this relationship. So how do you get to the point where you're in the relationship with Mr. Richardson, but you're having sex unprotected with Mr. Martin?
Okay, me and Mr. Richardson, we was having our ups and downs in our relationship. And so when I met Mr. Martin, I confided him as a friend, and then our friendship grew into a sexual relationship. But it wasn't nothing more than that. My heart always been with Anthony.
All right, so you were always in love with Mr. Richardson, but you ended up cheating on him with Mr. Martin.
Yes.
You also did not use protection.
Correct.
All right, and so you knew you were just the go-to guy, Mr. Martin, or did you think you were in a relationship?
Nah, I was just the go-to guy.
So you knew that?
Yeah, I knew that. I really wanted me a child at the time, so I was trying to get her pregnant, and I did tell her that.
You were trying to get somebody pregnant that you
pregnant.
didn't want to be in a relationship
Yeah,
with?
but I didn't want to be in a relationship with her.
But you were trying to get her pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you just gonna go out and just make a baby with anybody?
No, not with anybody, but
that's what
I
you're saying.
gotta get to know you, though.
Okay, but you're not even in a relationship with her.
No.
Nor do you want to be in a relationship.
No.
No, you're
But
not.
you're going to go make a baby. You want to purposefully make a baby with her.
That's what
Yes.
And how old are you?
19.
19 years old.
Yeah.
Mr. Martin, really? That's just irresponsible with a capital I. Anyway, at some point you realize you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
You say you call both men
Yes.
because you know.
Because I knew if one of them had to be the father.
All right, so when you went to the doctor and confirmed you were pregnant, did your doctor give you a window of conception? Did they give you a date?
Yes, April the 8th.
April the 8th, all right. When you were intimate with Mr. Richardson, that's who you claimed was the father, right?
Yes, that's
Do you
who I know
remember
was
when
the
you were
father.
intimate with him?
Yes, Your Honor, April the 7th.
Okay, so very close to.
Yes, very close.
What? So that's Richardson. Now I have to ask you, when were you intimate with Mr. Martin?
April the 10th and April the 11th. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is true. We only had sex twice.
Listen, that's so not true.
You're disputing those days?
Yeah, yes, yes.
When
I'm
do you
not
say
disputing.
you were intimate?
Before the 7th. It was on the 5th, maybe. That was the first
That's
time.
only
So
two
you're
days.
saying you were intimate with her before and after this
Yeah,
date of
before,
conception?
yeah,
well,
yeah.
let's just be certain.
Before
What she has already testified to puts you in the window of conception regardless.
Yes.
So in many ways, you in there.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are a possible father of this child.
I don't know who he think he slept with more than twice, but it sure wasn't me. We only had sex twice.
So at the point that you find out you're pregnant, you call them both, you're honest, you say to both of them that there could potentially be...
I didn't tell them about each other. I just told them that I'm pregnant. And
Oh, so you didn't tell the other man that there was
because
another...
I had to keep it a secret because I was in love with Mr. Richardson and I didn't want him to find out about Mr. Martin.
If you were so in love with him, why was we having sexual relationship when you was with him? That's no way of showing love.
Because me and Mr. Richardson was having
obviously y'all wasn't doing
problems, Your
something right.
Honor,
If
I didn't feel any love and attention from Mr. Richardson, so I got it from Mr. Martin.
Okay, then that means you wasn't in love with him.
Yes,
You were just saying you was in love.
That doesn't mean anything, Mr. Martin.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So who stepped up for you during this pregnancy?
Mr. Richardson.
Really?
Yes, I was trying my best to avoid Mr. Martin because he's very messy, trying to break up me and Mr. Richardson's relationship.
I didn't.
And
But when you told him he was a potential father...
Yes.
Wait, Mr. Martin, did you try to be there? Were you trying to go to...
Yeah, he tried, but I've tried to... I wasn't hearing it. I wasn't seeing it.
At first she did. I was trying to do that. But then after them 2 weeks, she just disappeared. It was like nothing else.
Where did you go?
She just
the phone. I just wasn't answering the phone. Every time he'd come see a family member of mine, I wouldn't be around it because I didn't want to see him or have nothing to do with him. I was worrying about my pregnancy and being with Mr. Richardson.
So you admit in court today that you purposefully just really shut him out?
Yes, I did.
Because you wanted the relationship with Mr. Richardson?
Yes, the one
and
I love.
after 2 weeks, you disappeared?
Yes. I did.
You just faded to black?
Yes.
Ms. Brewton, once you faded to black and you admittedly cut Mr. Martin out of the experience of being present during your pregnancy, even though you said to him you are possibly this child's father, what happens when you give birth? Who's at the hospital?
Mr. Richardson was at the hospital. I have no idea where Mr. Martin was because we wasn't in contact with each other.
And who signed the birth certificate?
Mr. Richardson. I didn't even let Mr. Martin know when I had Logan.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't think he had a right to know that the baby was coming when it potentially could be his?
No, because I wanted Mr. Richardson to know all of that. I didn't want Mr. Martin to know none of that. Because I don't want him to be Logan's father.
So you allowed Mr. Richardson to sign the birth certificate because you think he's the father or because you hope he's the father?
I think he's the father and I'm hoping he's the father.
Both. So now he's legally responsible for this child.
Yes.
When you sign a birth certificate, you are acknowledging paternity and you are taking responsibility legally for this child. And now you're in paternity court with another man that says he's also this child's father, and the reason why he believes that is because you told him.
Father because he wants kids so bad, but Logan is not his. That's why I want him to know.
He most definitely is. He is.
Okay.
Why do you think she's denying that you are Logan's father?
I mean, I really believe that she's trying to hurt me deep down inside. But
so is it about hurting you, or do you think it's about just keeping the relationship with Mr. Richardson?
Both.
Mr. Richardson, I want to hear from you. Please stand. Step up to the podium. Do you believe you're Logan's father?
I know.
You do?
I feel that way, yes.
When did you realize that there was another man in the picture? Because she says, I didn't tell Mr. Richardson about Mr. Martin because I didn't want him to know.
I actually found out 4 months after Logan was born.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you're in the hospital, you're thinking that without a doubt, this is my child that's being born today.
Yes.
And that's why you signed the birth certificate.
Yes.
But it wasn't until 4 months after this child was born you found out about Mr. Martin?
Yes.
How'd you find out?
Well, one day we was sitting down one morning and she came out and told me like, oh, I've been sleeping with Mr. Martin. You know, at the time of
That's not exactly
birth.
how it went, Your Honor.
How'd it go?
I had suspicions of Mr. Richardson cheating on me, and so when I felt like he was hurting me, I decided to hurt him to get back at him. So that's when I came and told him that it's a possibility that Mr. Martin is Logan's father.
Nah, you had suspicion of me because of things that you do.
Ms. Brewton, you playing these men like a game of chess. So once you hear that, Mr. Richardson, what was your response?
It really tore me up. because I've been with her, throughout that pregnancy, been there, signed the birth certificate and everything, held him in my arms, doing what I know the right thing to do for a child that I know that's mine. I mean, he looks just like me. His eyes, his head.
Lip.
I know that's my son.
Look at that head.
He look just like me. You can't deny it.
Just like my family member when he was born.
What family member?
Explains itself, he look just like me.
Martin?
My baby picture, him.
No.
Let's just be frank. Let's just call it like it is. At the point a woman says to you, I was intimate with another man during the time I conceived Logan. I did it. He could potentially be the father of this child. Doesn't some doubt set in? Have you ever just said to yourself, this may not be my child?
Yes, it did. But more so, and he is my child.
Yeah, he is your child.
Well, under the law, he most certainly is, because you signed the birth certificate.
Yes, because that's right.
Even if he didn't sign the birth certificate, Logan is
So
still
it doesn't
Mr.
matter.
Richardson's son, because I know for a fact. I just know.
You don't know.
Yes, I do.
But Mr. Martin is standing here saying that Logan looks like him and one of his family members.
Honestly, Your Honor, do Logan look anything
that
like
lip.
Mr. Martin?
Look at that lip, man.
He got my
That
lip.
bottom lip. That
He got
bottom,
my
look at that
lip.
bottom
Those
lip.
are my
Look at that
lip.
bottom lip.
That's me right there.
Ms. Brewton,
That's my son right there.
I completely understand how you want to stand in court today and just say, I am positive that this is Mr. Richardson's child, because you've made it clear that you don't want to be with Mr. Martin. You never have. You've always wanted to be with Mr. Richardson because that's the man you love.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you purposefully cut him out.
Yes.
But there's this little smirk you doing and this little smile. I'm hoping it's out of nervousness and not out of your failure to appreciate the severity of this situation. Because ultimately, this is really your fault.
Well,
and look, everything that has happened here today is a product of your intention. You didn't just slip on a banana peel and end up in the bed with Mr. Martin by accident.
Your Honor.
You're saying all of this is it's purposeful. And that disturbs me.
Well, Your Honor, I'm human.
So what I'm saying is
I'm
once
gonna make mistakes.
Look, when I see you kind of smirking and laughing, it irks me.
It only does do that because Mr. Martin thinks he's the father. That's the only reason why.
Miss Brewton, of course Mr. Martin thinks he's the father.
I wish he would get it out his head.
You told him.
Yeah, I told him, but when Logan came, Logan don't look nothing like Mr. Martin, so I know it's Mr. Richardson.
And now you're here and you're saying you're 100%
yes, I'm 100% positive.
That Mr. Richardson.
Yes, you just want to mess up our family, Mr. Martin.
Yes,
you do.
I can care less about her
I just wish you would just back up.
Oh, okay, Miss Dave, let me
understand
understand this. Are you annoyed by him because he thinks he's the father, or are you annoyed by him because you think he's trying to break up you and Mr. Richardson?
Both. I'm annoyed by him because he thinks he's the father. I'm annoyed by him because he's trying to break up what me and Anthony got.
I know that's my son.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Ain't no way.
All right, I think it's time for the results. I'm done with this.
I don't see it. Ain't no way. That's my son.
Thank you, Jerome. You're welcome. Mr. Richardson, I have to ask you this. If he's not your biological child, are you going to stay in the relationship and try to make it work?
And right now, I really can't answer that. Really? I really can't.
Really?
Because we have to sit down and really.
You see that, Miss Brewton?
And really
it doesn't feel too good to be caught off guard, does it?
And be put.
No, you didn't expect that answer. You didn't expect that answer.
No, I didn't.
I know. I could see it in your eyes. All right, these results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Brewton versus Martin, as it pertains to 7-month-old Logan Richardson, and as to whether Mr. Richardson or Mr. Martin is the biological father. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Richardson, you are not the father.
What?
Mr. Martin.
I told you.
What?
I told you.
You are the father.
I told you. I knew what it was.
No,
I already
that is
knew
not possible.
I
That
know
is
this,
not
man. I
possible.
knew this,
man.
I
That
knew
is
this.
not
I knew
possible.
this. I knew this.
I want to
Your Honor,
recant.
Mr.
my
Martin,
case is
you
red.
are
My
the
case is
father.
red.
No,
So
that is not possible.
we need to get
He
something.
don't look
functioning
nothing like him,
with
so
the
how
birth
is he the
certificate.
father?
Ms. Brewton, I realize you thought you were playing a game of chess, but the DNA is not a game. You may be able to manipulate a man or two men, but the DNA does not lie, sweetheart. Mr. Martin is your child's biological
My son.
father. And Mr. Richardson, I have to say, I'm very sorry because I knew you did not see that coming.
No, I didn't.
I'm very sorry, Mr. Martin. I have to say to you, congratulations, because I know you truly wanted this child to be yours, and baby Logan is, in fact, your biological child.
Yes.
I don't believe that.
You don't want to believe it.
That's all it is.
You played the game so hard, you played yourself, baby.
I can't believe this, man. I can't
I
believe
don't know
this,
what
man.
to say.
There's nothing you can say.
I'm overjoyed right now.
Because at the end of the day, you played the game so hard, you played yourself, but you played your child too. Mr. Richardson, are you all right?
No, I'm not all right. Not at the moment, no. It's just really hard for me right now.
Mr. Martin, I have to ask you, have you ever even met baby Logan?
No, Your Honor.
Is it okay if Mr. Martin meets his child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm going to meet you all in my chambers. Court is adjourned.